Somewhere in a climate-controlled vault at a prestigious American university library, a small, unassuming book sits behind protective glass. It is roughly the size of a modern paperback. Its pages are made of vellum, thin, carefully prepared animal skin, and they are covered from edge to edge in flowing, elegant script. There are illustrations of strange plants that match no known species on Earth. There are diagrams of astronomical bodies arranged in patterns that defy conventional celestial mapping. There are drawings of tiny, naked human figures bathing in elaborate green pools connected by a network of tubes and pipes that seem to serve no recognizable biological or mechanical purpose. Scholars have studied this book for over a century. Cryptographers who cracked enemy codes during 2 world wars have turned their most sophisticated methods upon its pages. Linguists, mathematicians, artificial intelligence researchers, and amateur enthusiasts from every corner of the globe have devoted years, sometimes entire careers, to unlocking its secrets. And yet, to this day, not a single sentence, not a single word, not a single letter of this manuscript has been conclusively translated or identified. This is the Voynich Manuscript. And it may be the most mysterious book in human history. The story of how this manuscript came to public attention begins in the early 20th century with a Polish book dealer named Wilfred Voynich. In 1912, while browsing through a collection of old books at a villa in central Italy, Voynich stumbled upon something extraordinary. Among the dusty volumes was a thick, handwritten manuscript unlike anything he had ever encountered. The writing was unlike any alphabet he recognized. The illustrations were unlike any botanical, astronomical, or medical text he had seen. And the book itself, based on the vellum and binding, appeared to be genuinely, undeniably old. Voynich purchased the manuscript and brought it back to the wider world. He spent the rest of his life trying to understand what he had found, and he died without an answer. After his death, the manuscript passed through several hands before eventually being donated to Yale University's Rare Book Library, where it remains today, cataloged simply as Manuscript number 408. Radiocarbon dating conducted in the early 21st century placed the creation of the vellum pages somewhere between the late 14th and early 15th centuries, roughly 600 years ago. This means that whatever secrets the manuscript contains, they have been locked away for longer than many nations have existed. The witnesses to this mystery are not fringe figures or conspiracy theorists. They are some of the most accomplished analytical minds in modern history. During the First World War, a team of professional military codebreakers examined the manuscript and came away defeated. During the Second World War, a similar effort was mounted, with equally accomplished cryptographers applying the most advanced techniques of the era. They too walked away without answers. In the decades that followed, serious academics from major universities submitted the manuscript's text to every form of linguistic and statistical analysis available. What they found was deeply puzzling. The text does not behave like a simple substitution cipher, where each symbol represents a known letter. It does not behave like any known language, living or dead. And yet it also does not behave like random nonsense. The text has internal structure. Certain symbols appear together with predictable frequency. Certain patterns repeat in ways that suggest grammar, or at least something that mimics grammar. The word length distribution follows patterns seen in natural human languages. Whatever this writing system is, it appears to carry meaning. But what meaning, no one can say. The illustrations add another layer of bewilderment. The botanical section of the manuscript contains detailed drawings of plants, roots, stems, leaves, flowers. But botanists who have examined them cannot match them to any species in the natural world. Some researchers have suggested they might be fantastical or symbolic plants, invented rather than observed. Others believe they may represent real plants drawn from an unusual perspective, or perhaps hybrid images combining features of multiple real species. A handful of researchers claim to have identified possible matches, but none of these identifications have achieved consensus. The astronomical section shows circular diagrams with celestial bodies arranged in spiraling patterns. Some of the diagrams resemble medieval European star charts, but the arrangements do not correspond precisely to any known astronomical system. One particularly striking diagram appears to show a galaxy-like spiral structure, a concept that would not be formally understood by European science for centuries after the manuscript's estimated creation date. Whether this is coincidence, misinterpretation, or something more profound, is a question that researchers continue to debate. The so-called balneological section, depicting those strange bathing figures, has generated some of the most creative theories. The tiny human figures, mostly female, float through elaborate networks of interconnected pools and channels. Some researchers have interpreted these as representations of the circulatory system, or perhaps early attempts to illustrate embryonic development. Others see symbolic or alchemical imagery. A few have suggested the figures represent souls moving through some kind of spiritual or cosmological system. None of these interpretations has been proven. None has been disproven. Over the decades, the investigation into the manuscript has taken many unexpected turns. In the 1940s, a historian discovered a letter written in the 17th century by a Bohemian scholar named Johannes Marcus Marci. In this letter, Marci describes sending a mysterious illustrated manuscript to a prominent Jesuit scholar in Rome, noting that it had previously been purchased by the Holy Roman Emperor Rudolf II for a substantial sum of gold. Rudolf, who reigned in the late 16th and early 17th centuries, was famous for his obsessive collection of curiosities and occult objects. The description in Marci's letter matches the Voynich Manuscript closely enough that most researchers believe this is indeed the same book, which means its history can be traced back, at least to the court of Rudolf II, even if its origins remain unknown. The Jesuit scholar who received the manuscript, Athanasius Kircher, was one of the most brilliant and eccentric minds of his era. He was a polymath who claimed expertise in everything from ancient languages to underground geology. He received the manuscript, studied it, and apparently could make nothing of it, either, which is itself remarkable, given that Kircher had successfully translated ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics and was considered one of the foremost linguistic scholars of his time. If Kircher could not read it, the mystery runs very deep indeed. Similar cases of undeciphered scripts do exist in the historical record. The ancient script known as Linear A, used by the Minoan civilization of the Aegean, has never been decoded. The Rongo-Rongo script of Easter Island remains unread. The Indus Valley script, used by one of the ancient world's most sophisticated civilizations, has resisted all attempts at translation for over a century. These cases remind us that the Voynich Manuscript is not entirely alone in its defiance of human understanding, but it is unique in the sheer density and variety of its mysterious content, and in the intensity of the modern effort directed at solving it. The theories about what the manuscript might be fall into several broad categories, and they span a remarkable range of possibility. The most conservative theory is that the manuscript is an elaborate hoax, a meaningless document created to deceive a wealthy buyer. Proponents of this theory point to the court of Rudolf II as a likely context, noting that Rudolf was known to pay enormous sums for supposed magical and alchemical texts. A clever forger, this theory suggests, might have created a convincingly mysterious document to sell to the emperor. Statistical analyses of the text have been cited both in support of and against this theory, with researchers disagreeing about whether the text's internal structure is too complex to be random nonsense. A second major theory holds that the manuscript is written in a constructed or artificial language, perhaps an early attempt to create a universal philosophical language, a project that fascinated many European intellectuals during the Renaissance and early modern period. Some researchers have proposed specific constructed language systems that might explain the manuscript's unusual statistical properties. A third theory, supported by several serious linguistic researchers, holds that the manuscript is written in a natural human language, but encoded using a system we have not yet identified. This might explain why the text has the statistical properties of real language while remaining unreadable through conventional cryptographic methods. And then there are the theories that venture further from conventional explanation. Some researchers have proposed that the manuscript preserves knowledge from a lost civilization or culture whose language left no other traces in the historical record. A small number of enthusiasts have suggested connections to ancient traditions of esoteric or occult knowledge. And at the outermost edge of speculation, a few voices have raised the possibility that the manuscript's origins might not be entirely of this world, though this remains very much a minority position, and one that most researchers find unsupported by the available evidence. What remains unexplained, even after more than a century of serious investigation, is substantial. No one can read the text. No one can identify the plants. No one can confirm the purpose of the astronomical diagrams. No one knows who created the manuscript, where, or why. No one knows whether the document contains genuine knowledge or elaborate fiction. No one knows whether the writing system is a cipher, a language, a constructed code, or something else entirely. In recent years, computational linguists have applied machine learning techniques to the manuscript's text, searching for patterns too subtle for human analysis to detect. Some of these studies have produced intriguing results, suggesting possible connections to Arabic or Hebrew linguistic structures, or to certain medieval European languages. But none of these findings have yet produced a working translation, and the academic community remains cautious about premature conclusions. And here is perhaps the most unsettling thought of all. The Voynich Manuscript is not hidden. It is not locked away from researchers. High-resolution images of every page are freely available for anyone in the world to study. The full text has been transcribed into digital formats that can be analyzed by any computer program. Thousands of intelligent, dedicated people have had access to it for decades. And still, it will not yield its secrets. Whatever is written on those 600-year-old pages, whether it is the accumulated wisdom of a forgotten culture, the elaborate invention of a medieval genius, the coded records of a secret society, or something that does not fit neatly into any of these categories, it has outlasted every attempt to understand it. It sits quietly in its vault, patient and inscrutable, waiting. The question is not simply what the manuscript says. The deeper question is this: what does it mean that something so carefully, so deliberately, so beautifully created can remain so completely beyond our understanding? And what might we be missing? What knowledge, what history, what human story, locked inside a book that no one can read? If this mystery has you thinking, you are not alone. Researchers around the world are still working on it right now, and new discoveries could emerge at any time. If you want to be among the first to hear about those developments, and to explore more of history's most compelling unsolved mysteries, consider subscribing and leaving a comment below with your own theory about what the Voynich Manuscript might contain. The conversation is very much still open, and the next mystery waiting for us is just as strange.